Today, at noon Eastern Time, all of the parts distribution facilities at General Motors and Stellantis are being called to stand up and strike. We will be striking 38 locations across 20 states, across all 9 regions of the UAW.
The United Auto Workers strike expanding at this very moment, calling on thousands of GM and Stellantis union workers across the country to join the picket line. That decision that happened just hours ago from the UAW's president spares Ford plants for the most part, aside from that one already on strike in Michigan, saying Ford Motor Companies made the most concessions in negotiations. Ford is coming closer to a deal with the UAW, unlike GM and Stellantis, but the president did say they are not done negotiating with Ford yet. So here's what's been agreed upon at the moment: combined wage scales eliminating a lower wage tier, reinstated cost of living allowances, a formula that was suspended back in 2009. He also said union workers have won the right to strike over plant closures, and in regards to layoffs, they have now income security for up to 2 years with health care, as well as enhanced profit sharing formulas. Again, all of this being decided and agreed upon with Ford.
Our message to the consumer is simple. The way to fix the frustrating customer experience is for the companies to end price gouging. Invest these record profits into stable jobs and sustainable wages and benefits. It's that simple. This expansion will also take our fight nationwide. We will be everywhere from California to Massachusetts, from Oregon to Florida. And we will keep going, keep organizing, and keep expanding the stand-up strike as necessary.
Now, Payne said the UAW will shut down parts distribution centers until GM and Stellantis come to their senses and come to the table with a serious offer. As of now, the 3 original plans that went on strike a week ago have been told to remain on the picket line. Automakers have already begun layoffs of non-striking workers at other plants, calling it a ripple effect of these strikes. Just north of Indianapolis, Stellantis is projecting about 300 layoffs in its plant in Kokomo, Indiana. GM and Ford doing the same at some of their other facilities. The workers are asking for a 36% pay increase over 4 years, a 4-day work week, and pensions returned for younger workers. And taking a closer look, the UAW president has said the CEOs of the Big Three raised their salaries 40% over the last 4 years. So let's break down just how much they're making. Ford CEO James Farley made just under $21 million last year. That's a 19% increase from the CEO in 2019. He also received more than $15 million in stock awards. Now for General Motors, the CEO Mary Barra made even more. Last year, she made $29 million, which is 362 times more than a typical GM worker. Her salary has increased 34% since 2019. And finally, the Stellantis CEO, Carlos Tavares, made $24.8 million last year. That's 365 times greater than his average employee. We'll be continuing our coverage on this developing story. You can see it right here on air at 4 o'clock today. Stay up to date through the WHAS 11 News app. A morning house fire in the Russell neighborhood turned deadly today. Louisville firefighters told us a man died inside of a home at 26th and Magazine. He also, we're told from neighbors, was the former owner of that home. We know more than one family was affected by this. It happened around 5 this morning. Fire crews arrived on scene in 3 minutes to find heavy fire coming from a 1-story house. It quickly spread to 2 neighboring homes. It took about 40 firefighters to get it under control in the next 40 minutes. The main house destroyed, with the other 2 suffering significant damage. Arson investigators are on scene to determine the cause. A tight-knit community in Madison, Indiana, grieving the tragic loss of a teenager. 14-year-old Dulce Crystal Martinez Ortiz was unable to escape when a fire broke out in her mobile home Wednesday morning. Her mother, Ariana Ortiz Roblero, and her 2 small children escaped the blaze. And then she returned for her daughter, busting out the window of the teen's bedroom, but she couldn't reach her because of the intense flames. Officials from 5 different departments tried to help but could not get to her in time. Our Ian Hardwood was in Madison yesterday.
An investigator with the Indiana State Fire Marshal says the fire here started small, but when 3 fire departments came to respond, the home was already fully consumed in flames.
It was like a calm over the trailer park. when you lose somebody.
They lost Dulce Martinez Ortiz. The 14-year-old girl's mother broke a window in the rear bedroom trying to save her. She was injured, then sent to U of L hospital from the nearby airport. For her neighbor, Gus Trippett, it hits close to home in more ways than one.
Body-wise, you might pull through, but you never pull through from losing a kid. I know I lost one.
In a small community like Madison, Indiana, one life can intertwine with so many more.
She was well liked in the community at her school. She was a freshman at Madison High School. I actually knew the family. I had been a school resource officer for the past 2 years before coming back to the sheriff's department, so I had interacted with her and her brothers in the past. So, you know, it does hit hard.
On that early morning, before Chief Robert Black arrived on one of the fire trucks, citizens tried to extinguish the blaze.
Reviewing some tapes from a security camera that the neighbors valiantly tried to help with garden hoses and a bucket brigade.
Chief Black says the first fire hydrant they hooked up to was inoperable. Because the trailer park is on private property, Indiana state law doesn't permit the department to check and maintain the hydrants. We asked if it would have made a difference.
There's always a chance, and we never want to say whether it will or not.
Although the morning saw heroism from citizens and first responders, one family is still left without their daughter and without their home.
I urge everyone to support this family as much as they can.
Reporting from Madison, Ian Hardwitt and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton, WHAS11, on your side.
A GoFundMe is online if you'd like to help this family try to recover from such a devastating loss. You can find it on our website at this article on WHAS11.com. Now to eastern Kentucky, where a man has died after being swarmed by bees in his garden. According to the Harlan County Coroner's Office, a 59-year-old man was moving an old bag of potting soil from his porch when he was stung by a swarm of bees inside that bag. Family attempted CPR until medical personnel arrived. He died at the hospital. A JCPS staff member has been reassigned after fighting with a student. It happened yesterday at Male High School. According to a letter sent to families by the principal, the fighting ended quickly and no one was hurt. Staff members' reassignment is standard for policy with JCPS. The anticipated weapons detection system at JCPS schools could be coming next month. Leaders say they've completed their campus walkthroughs and are ready for the phased implementation. The school district confirmed Eastern High School, one of the largest in JCPS, will be one of the first rounds of installations in October. Just last week, the principal reported a student holding up what they called a steak knife during a fight with another student at lunch.
It's my understanding that these will go into the schools where we have had the greatest number of reports of weapons. I know no solution is going to be perfect, but what I'm looking for is what can help us reduce the odds.
The units designed by Evolve Technology will be used to catch concealed weapons like guns in students' possession as they walk into school every morning. JCPS leaders say they'll first install units in high schools and then move on to middle schools next year. The Metro Health Department is providing JCPS with medical supplies to have on school campuses. Schools are receiving 28 rolling medical carts packed with supplies, and included in them are 175 Stop the Bleed kits, 28 first responder bags, 8 iPads, and 155 medical tackle boxes. The carts are also stocked with things like EpiPens and medications. JCPS school nurses say these carts will greatly reduce the amount of time between a medical episode and when a student gets treated.
We're going to be able to get to the student quicker with all the supplies that we have in the office, including like as needed PRN medications, emergency medications like Narcan, EpiPen. Those are all things that we need immediately on the scene that we might not know what we're going to at the time.
JCPS said it's also providing school nurses with emergency medications, as you heard, like Narcan, which can reverse an opioid overdose. Today, a memorial baseball game will honor the 10-year-old killed in a Crestwood crash last weekend. Fifth grader Jake Luxemburger died Saturday when a car police were pursuing off I-71 crashed into his family's SUV. Tonight, the Linden Bananas, the baseball team he belonged to, will return to the field in Jake's honor. The game starts at 6 on Field 6 at the Linden Recreation Association. Former Kentucky Democratic Governor Brayton Jones will be honored at the state capitol Monday. He died this week at the age of 84. Jones will lie in state at the Kentucky Capitol Rotunda from 10 to 7 on Monday. The family will receive visitors there from 3 to 7. The funeral is scheduled for 10 the next morning at Forks of the Elkhorn Baptist Church in Midway. Jones served as Kentucky's governor from 1991 to 95.